Corruption in Singapore. Corruption in Singapore is generally perceived as one of the lowest in the world. Cases are mostly handled by the Singapore Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau (CPIB), a government agency in Singapore that investigates and prosecutes corruption in the public and private sectors. According to a Transparency International survey, an overwhelming majority of people in Singapore do not hear cases of corruption by public officials or institutions through media in their lifetime. In 2020, Singapore's public sector was ranked as the fourth least corrupt in the world and the most transparent in Asia. Overview. Transparency International's 2021 Corruption Perceptions Index ranks the country in fourth place out of 180 countries, where a low number corresponds to a perception of little corruption in the country's public sector. According to the Government Defense Anti-Corruption Index, the highest corruption risk area is operations, followed by finance. Business executives surveyed in the World Economic Forum's 2014-2015 Global Competitiveness Report reported no problems doing business in Singapore. The political reasoning behind why Singaporean corruption is generally immensely low is due to the fact that compared to neighboring nations such as Thailand and Malaysia, a theory that the powers of the state were able to pressure private interests into funneling capital into sectors that would ultimately benefit the public in the long term. Indicators of corruption. Year Corruption Perception Index Brides Payer Index Control of Corruption Rank Score 2021 4/180/85/100 2024/180/85/100 2019 4/180/85/100 2018 3/180/85/100 2017 6/180/84/100 2016 7/168/84/100 2015 8/168/85/100 2014 7/175/84/100 2013 5/177/86/100 2012 5/176/87/100 2011 5/183/9.2/10 8/28 2010 1/178/9.3/10 Style equals text align left. Notable case studies. There are case studies in both public and private sectors. SLA 2011. SLA 2011. Former Singapore Land Authority SLA Deputy Director of Technology and Infrastructure, Kosi Wee, and former SLA Manager, Christopher Lin Chai Meng, were sentenced to jail by the High Court on cheating and money laundering charges. Ko was sentenced to 22 years of jail after admitting to 59 charges, and Lim was sentenced to 15 years imprisonment after admitting to 49 charges. Of the $12.02 million laundered, $7.05 million was recovered from Ko. Ko and Lim cheated SLA by using false invoices issued by ex-swim coach Ha Yen Tech, who set up 7 sole proprietorships to provide fake IT maintenance services and goods that were not delivered. Ha was jailed for 10 years for the conspiracy. SCDF and CNB 2012. SCDF and CNB 2012. In January 2012, 2 senior civil servants were arrested under graft charges. Former head of the Singapore Civil Defence Force SCDF, Peter Lim Sin Pine, was arrested on 19 December 2011, while Central Narcotics Bureau CMB Chief NG Boon Gay was taken in for questioning on 4 January 2012. Both men were arrested in connection with the Prevention of Corruption Act relating to an IT contract, and in late January 2012, it was announced that both men are also facing disciplinary action by the Public Service Commission, which oversees the conduct of civil servants. After being interdicted, a step only taken when an individual faces serious offences for which criminal proceedings or proceedings for his dismissal or reduction in rank are being contemplated, the case provoked comment from Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, who promised to punish both men if they are guilty of misconduct. The CPIB's silence on this investigation came under the scrutiny of a number of MP during a parliamentary sitting in February 2012. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs, Teo Chee Hean, then defended the CPIB, stating that any announcement on the outcome of the probe would have been premature and may have compromised the investigation. He also assured concerned MP that all the findings of the investigation would be publicly reported once they had been finalized. Peter Lim Sin Pine was dismissed from service in August 2013 after the court verdict and found guilty, whereas NG Boon Gay took an early retirement after the court verdict as a discharge amounting to an acquittal. NPARKS 2012. NPARKS 2012. In July 2012, National Parks Board's NPARKS purchase of 26 Brompton bags costing $2,200 each sparked a nationwide uproar after it was revealed by a whistleblower on an online forum. However, a zone of possible corruption due numerous red flags in the way the procurement was done. Carr, who initially defended NPARKS' purchase of the high-end foldable bikes, was criticized for handling the saga poorly. Subsequent investigation by the Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau resulted in National Parks Board Assistant Director Bernard Limonsin's dismissal and being fined $5,000 for lying to auditors about his relationship with the bicycle firm which was awarded the tender. CPIB 2013. CPIB 2013. On 23 July 2013, Corrupt Practices Investigation Bureau CPIB Assistant Director Edwin Yeo was charged with misappropriating at least $1.07 million from the anti-graft agency between 2008 and 2012. Yeo was interdicted from his position as head of field research and technical support at CPIB to assist in a commercial affairs department CAD proven to his suspected financial impropriety. 8 of the charges were for misappropriating funds and criminal breach of trust. 1 was for forgery and the rest were in using part of his ill-gotten gains to gamble at the Marina Bay Sands MBS Casino. On 20 February 2014, it was sentenced to 10 years jail. MFA 2014. MFA 2014. On 20 February 2014, former Ministry of Foreign Affairs and FA Protocol Chief Lim Ching-ha, 61, was sentenced to 15 months jail for cheating. From February 2008 to May 2012, Lim made false claims for $89,000 worth of pineapple tots and wine as gifts for foreign diplomats. Ang Mo Kio Town Council 2016. Ang Mo Kio Town Council 2016. General Manager and Secretary of Ang Mo Kio Town Council Victor Wan Chi Meng was removed from his position and placed under investigation by CPIB after a complaint was lodged in September 2016 over the way he handles contracts and dealings in the town council. Wang, a public service medal recipient, was concurrently an employee of CPG Facilities Management, which is the appointed managing agent of the town council. On 14 March 2018, Wang is charged with 55 counts of corruption offense for receiving some $107,000 in bribes from Chia Sin-lan and Yip Van-yin, directors of 2 building and repair companies. Capel Corporation 2017. Capel Corporation 2017. According to U.S. prosecutors, Capel's offshore and marine arm, Capeller and M, agreed to pay US $422 million settlement to avoid a criminal trial for bribing Brazilian officials. Court documents released by the U.S. Justice Department revealed that Capello and M paid US $55 million in bribes between 2001 and 2014 to win 13 contracts with Petrobras and Brasil, 2 Brazilian oil companies deeply mired in the country's wide-ranging operation called Wash Graft Scandal. Capel Corporation is one of the government-linked companies GLC under Temasek Holdings. It is currently the biggest corruption case involving a GLC in Singapore's history. Republic of Singapore Air Force RSAF 2018. Republic of Singapore Air Force RSAF 2018. Raj Kumar Padmanathan, 49, was jailed 25 months and 6 weeks on 27 July 2018 for 28 counts of corruption, cheating and breaching the Official Secrets Act while working at Tengke Air Base and Semboan Air Base. He leaked tender quotations in order to secure contracts for companies set up by his wife, Jayashri, friend Jeevan Naramugam, and acquaintance, Kamal Kishore. The total value of contracts awarded to GASF's Duratech and GTW set up for the scam was $1,817,379.87 over the period from 2008 to 2014.